living from your heart, then your life becomes quite spontaneous, you know. You don't have to plan anything. It becomes so beautiful that when somebody invites you to go into some plan, you immediately feel, why would I do that? It's such a clutter. Why? I don't know. How you can ask me what I'm going to have for lunch tomorrow? What a crazy question. Why would I even think about it? Unless you're going for lunch with the Prime Minister or something, it has to be at 1 o'clock, and this is the choice you have. Then you say, okay, I endure. You see, but why else would you do it? Your life will unfold beautifully. Of course, there's a time to use your mind and to make plans, but something informs you from your being. It knows when to do this. You may not at the moment understand all the words I'm speaking. It is okay. It is already coming in. Let it come in by itself. You cannot do anything about that, except don't do anything to stop that. You can be open, in a state of openness. It will find its way. Understanding will come. Because it's very common what you're expressing now, and it may sound very honest, and relatively it's quite honest. Absolutely, absolutely not honest. You say that, you know, I feel maybe I'm really just interested in my ego, I'm just interested in my mind, I'm addicted to it. You see? Then I ask you, would the truth, the God self, the pure self, say something like that? Do you have an intuitive sense that there is within you a purity that is untouched by the mind? Does anybody have this feeling here? That inside there is somewhere within whatever this is, on some plane of existence, there is a purity, there is a God space there. But ordinarily, I don't feel I'm coming from there. This I feels like it must make a journey to that God place to discover. So, which I is this? Now it is saying, to be honest, I think I'm probably addicted to the ego. You see? And probably I'm addicted to the ego, and because I don't like it, but I'm attracted to go. I find myself, even without liking it, I'm finding myself at the door of the ego, dancing with him again and everything, you see? So there must be some kind of addiction, because we know that with addiction it's very often a love-hate relationship. You kind of hate something about it, but you cannot give it up. Many relationships are like that as well. You can't stand it, but you can't be without it. You see? It seems as though something is addicted, it must be addicted to that. And yet, in this statement, as you make it, I know that you're not fully with that statement. Is it true or not? You cannot be fully with that. You're watching maybe a tendency, a memory about behavior and so on, and say, well, something is addicted to this. Some aspect of myself seems to be strongly addicted to this love-hate relationship that doesn't seem to be growing any better. What? Observe this. First of all, to speak like that, it means that you must observe it as well. It is observed. That tendency, an addiction, is observed. Is it observed by the addicted one, or is the addicted one also observed? If you're in a position to witness the addiction and the addict, who are you? Where are you? Is this one an addict also? We don't need imagination for this. It's far too simple, actually. That in which the addiction, we know addiction. We know it's energetically, you know, addiction. It's like, I've got to have it, I've got to have it, I've got to have it. And the one who says, I have to have it, can this one also be observed? I'm not talking about another person, your person. Other addicts you can see very well. Can you see your own addict? I mean, we know that something happens, no? Some tendency, some shape, something happens, whereby from this pure state of looking, pure place of looking, involuntarily, a shape is formed, and you find yourself in that shape again. The shape is formed, and that shape is called a person. A shape is painted from the consciousness. And then it seems as though the consciousness takes up residency in that shape. When and if it does it like leave its pure place and take up ego, and then the throne of God is left vacant for a while, and it's become a person, or what happened?
I don't know what happens. It just seems to start to tell a story, and then the story becomes real, and then...
The story becomes real for who? It's only a question of paying some attention. Something that at a certain point is very difficult. It's like something just gives up. Just go back into the story. But not for everyone. Sometimes the sense of the story is there, and one finds oneself functioning from the story place, or speaking as the mask.